Welcome everybody. We are going to do a class called Getting Creative with Essential Oils. So I use Young Living essential oils and supplements. Those are the only ones I use because of the seed to seal standards, the purity, the potency, and all of that. I'm not going to talk about that in this class though. I've done videos on that and that information is everywhere. Happy to share more information about that. If anybody has questions, reach out to me. Today, though, we're going to focus on getting creative, using the oils you have, using the products you have, and finding different ways to incorporate these into our lives. So let's get started. First thing I want to talk about is Ningxia Red. Ningxia Red is the antioxidant juice that is created by Young Living. All of the supplements that Young Living does are essential oil infused. So this is a packet of the juice. A serving size of Ningxia Red juice is about 2 ounces. This has 2 ounces in it. The juice comes in a bottle that you can pour, and it comes in little packets. So I like getting both. When I'm using these, I take one of these a day at least. What I do to boost it up and to make it more fun is I put it in a fun glass. I put my 2 ounces in there. And then I top it off with sparkling water. I went out and got one of those soda maker machines that makes carbonated water. And I use that so I don't have extra plastic and I don't have extra cost. And then I boost it by adding one of the vitality oils. So this has lemon vitality in it and Ningxia Red. Additionally, right now I'm trying to stay super hydrated. It's April 2020. In case you're looking at this in the future, you can look back and remember what was going on at that time. Trying to stay super hydrated, which means I'm drinking a lot more in general. So what I've done to super boost mine and make myself drink more liquids is I'm using a larger glass and I'm doing about 2 ounces of the Ningxia Red, and then I do about 2 ounces of another kind of juice, 100% blueberry juice, 100% cherry juice, something like that, and then fill it the rest of the way with water or carbonated water, and my essential oils in it. So I'm getting more quantity of liquid. I'm still getting my Ningxia Red, and it feels special and fun. It's like a fruity soda without being any soda and without being any added sugar. You can do it with just the Ningxia Red. Tastes good. I like to boost in a lot of ways. So I'll use lime, I'll use lemon, cinnamon bark vitality, great one to boost in the Ningxia Red. The red shot is a blend. There's so many different ways to play around with it. Yummy, yummy goodness. Additionally, you can take these packets, shake it up really, really, really good, and then throw it in the freezer. Automatic popsicle. Who needs to cool down? Fun, great, great for kids. You would just want to cut off the top so you can get it out. I know a lot of people are also just making popsicles out of these. If you have popsicle molds, you can do the same type of thing. Mix up using your big bottle of Ningxia Red with some juice, add some essential oils to it, and then pop that in the freezer and you can have full-on popsicles. I see a lot of people making different types of quarantini drinks out of Ningxia Red right now too. So if you're looking for an adult beverage to kind of relax in the middle of the day, little sangria type drink, Ningxia Red is a great option for using for that. Tons of ways to use Ningxia Red. Great antioxidant boost. We all need that right now. Get yourself healthy. It has a low glycemic index. So if you're looking for an option that tastes yummy, feels like a treat, is good for you and has a low glycemic index, check out the Ningxia Red option. Another one of the supplements that I use and I'm getting creative with is Mighty Pro. Mighty Pro is the probiotic and prebiotic supplement that's created for kids. It's only created for kids because it's a kid-friendly packaging and kid-friendly consumption. Adults can use this too, perfectly fine. I take these all the time. This is how I take my probiotics to go when I travel. It's kind of like a pixie stick, except it's probiotics. The Ningxia berries are what gives it the berry taste. So what you can do with these, in addition to having them instead of a treat, take a grapefruit, slice it in half, sprinkle the Mighty Pro on top, and it makes a super sweet, yummy, delicious treat or breakfast. You can also, if you like berry flavored yogurts, you can add this to yogurt. You can add it to applesauce. You can add it to anything that is not warm. You don't want to add probiotics to something that's warm because that reduces the efficacy of them. So if it's applesauce, yogurt, grapefruit, granola, anything like that, you can add this for a little fruity boost and a probiotic boost. Let's boost our digestive systems. Healthy digestive system, healthy gut means healthy immune system. That's my mighty pro. I'm also finding with all of the grocery issues that people are having, I'm using a lot more of my protein powder. So I get all of my protein powder supplements from Young Living. They have Pure Protein Complete in chocolate deluxe and vanilla spice. And they also have a Balance Complete, which has a little bit less protein, but more fiber. So that's got a little bit more of the balance in it. And that comes in a vanilla flavor as well. So what you can do, in addition to just making a protein smoothie, is you can add this to any other smoothie you're making. But you can also add this to your baking. The other morning I made pancakes and I knew I wanted to boost the amount of protein in my pancakes. So I used the vanilla spice protein powder. I used 2 scoops of that. 2 scoops have 25 grams of protein. Bam! Super boosted pancakes. I've also made little carrot fruit and nut muffins is what my roommate used to call them. I'll add the protein powder to that in place of a little bit of the flour. Super boost up the protein in my baked goods. If you're making cookies, anything like that, you can boost the protein content by using some of the protein complete or protein options. So super healthy. In addition, once you've done that, you can add some of the vitality oils to boost the flavor as well. So if you're making like a breakfast morning muffin thing with carrots or zucchinis and you add some of the protein, throw in some of that cinnamon bark vitality or clove vitality or ginger vitality or one of the spicier vitalities that might sound good in that. An orange vitality, that would be a good option too. I also got the einkorn pancake and waffle mix. This is not gluten-free. There is a gluten-free option, but this uses einkorn flour, which is a variety of wheat flour that is much more digestible in our systems in general. This is the type of flour that most other countries use, one of the types of flours that most other countries use that aren't having the same types of gut issues that we tend to have in the United States. This pancake mix has a variety of different flours in it. It has a bit of protein in it. It's a really good mix for pancakes and waffles, but you can also use this in place of some of your flour when you're just doing regular baking. And if you want to just do regular baking, you can grab a bag of einkorn flour, straight flour, for your baking needs also. I like using the pancake and waffle mix because it has some of those other flours in it. So it has brown rice flour, amaranth flour, tapioca flour, sorghum flour, and garbanzo bean flour. So it's a mix of different types of flour in the pancake and waffle mix. If you're looking for a gluten-free option, there is a gluten-free option. And if you want straight flour, the einkorn flour is a great one to use. Whenever I'm baking these days, I boost it with Young Living essential oils. That's where I start to get creative. My suggestion here is write down what you did. Sometimes I will play around and I'll just start putting things in the mix and forget what I wrote down. And if I discover I love it, I can't recreate it. And if I discover I didn't love it, but I'd love to try it a different way, it makes it hard to go back and play around with it and recreate it. So write down what you've done so that you can edit it and manipulate it, make sure you've got your mix the way you like it. So that's where I'm going with baking. With other ways to be creative, something I've been doing a lot lately and I find really useful is creating throat sprays and throat coats. So for me, I love to get the Thieves mouthwash. Thieves mouthwash is safe, it's really effective, very useful, and it tastes pretty good. I like it. I take the Thieves mouthwash and I put it in a spray bottle. I happen to be using one of the Thieves spray bottles that is empty. I ran out of the Thieves spray. So instead of just recycling this bottle, I'm reusing it. I refilled it with the Thieves mouthwash. And then I can do an extra boost by throwing a couple of drops of Thieves Vitality or Copaiba Vitality, Frankincense Vitality, anything like that into the bottle. And then, and then spraying the back of my throat. If I'm having a little bit of like, you know, feels like there's some fire back there, I might put Clove Vitality in with my mouthwash, because Clove Vitality has a little bit of extra numbing in it. So it makes it a little bit more numb. So that's a really nice option for my throat sprays. Personally, I've been carrying, this is a really old style Thieves spray bottle, because I've been carrying it around and refilling it for years. I've been using this on my throat for years. If my breath isn't so fresh, spray this in there, I'm good. My throat gets dry, I've been talking too much, spray this in there, I'm good. So the mouthwash makes a really good throat coat, and you can boost it with some of the essential oils. There's also a lot of people talking right now about other ways to make throat coats. One of my favorites is taking honey. I take about 1/4 cup of honey, particularly the spun honey, so not the one that's super golden and pliable, but the one that's a little bit more white and cloudy looking. And then I'll put it in a glass jar like this, little jar that's resealable. I can recycle jelly jars and things like that too. So if you do about 1/4 cup of honey, and then you can put between 25 and 40 drops of essential oil in it, and then mix it up really good. I love personally doing a Thieves Vitality in my honey and mixing that around. Then anytime I need a little throat coat, I can take a little spoon of that and put it in my mouth and let that coat my throat. One safety note I always like to remind people is you don't want to take a full spoon of honey and then try and swallow it all at once. It will coat your throat, but that is really hard to breathe through, and you never want to choke on honey. Trust me, not the thing to do. So a little bit at a time, let it melt and coat your throat gradually. That will feel way better. I also have a lot of people who will make this and they'll add Thieves and frankincense or Sacred Frankincense Vitality in there as well, or make other different types of honey blends. So I have a friend who has multiples of these little jars. She has honey bees, so she has a ton of honey, and she makes a bunch of different types of essential oil infused honey, labels them on the top, and then when she's making her tea in the morning, she always adds honey to it. So she'll grab a spoonful of orange honey, or lemon vitality honey, or cinnamon bark honey, or things like that to flavor whatever it is that she's doing. So you can pre-mix your honey, your infused honey, to use in teas, coffees, baked goods, wherever you would use honey, or you can also make that honey coat for your throat. It's a really nice, creative way to use essential oils and honey and support the health of the back of your throat and your entire system. If you're not sure if honey's helpful, go look that up. There's a lot of research on honey right now. There's also a lot of suggestions online of how to make little essential oil infused throat drops. So if you can't get a hold of throat lozenges or cough drops, we have the Thieves lozenges and the Thieves cough drops. I keep those on hand. I keep them in my purse. I keep them in my office. I keep them everywhere. Really great to have right now, but you can make your own. I've seen a lot of people get the little gummy bear silicone mats. You can get them from any craft supply store, and then they'll make a whole bunch of throat coats with little gummy bears, and they keep them in the freezer, and then you just pop them in your mouth, and it's kind of like having a lozenge with Thieves, honey, coconut oil. There are recipes online. You can go look this up. And I've also seen people turning these into gummy bears. So they will take their Ningxia Red, a little bit of plain gelatin, some extra boost of essential oils, and they'll make their own gummy bears. So if you have kiddos or a sweet tooth yourself and you want to find a different way to do that, you can get those little molds and make your own gummy bears. Super creative way to play around with sweets and treats with them still being healthy. In addition, there's a lot of ways to get creative with essential oils and to play with them. Generally, I personally like to get my products from Young Living and then boost them. But there have been times lately where I wasn't able to get a product. It was out of stock, or I forgot to order it, or I had a guest and they forgot whatever it was, shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, whatever, and I ended up sending my back order home, my back stock home with them without realizing I didn't have enough for myself. So I needed to be able to have an option to take care of myself. So I've learned lots of ways to make my own toothpaste, to make my own deodorant, to make my own lotions. And this is where I'm super happy and grateful that I have Young Living essential oils that I can put in and boost all of those products. So if I can't get my Thieves Whitening toothpaste or my deodorant or anything like that for whatever reason, I can boost whatever it is that I'm making or whatever I have on hand to make it work even better. A really easy toothpaste is just to take a little container, put some baking soda in it, and then add your Thieves essential oil to it, mix that around, dip your toothbrush in it, and brush away. It's pretty abrasive because of the baking soda, but when you have nothing else, it works. The addition of the Thieves essential oil is really great and healthy for our oral health. That's why most of the toothpaste that we have with Young Living have Thieves in it. You can also add peppermint to that. Peppermint will help freshen your breath. If you don't like peppermint, you might try spearmint or one of the other mint flavors. If you don't like any of that, throw orange in. Orange is a great tooth whitener. I didn't believe this when I heard this. I thought that was kind of crazy. Why would you use orange to whiten your teeth? But it works wonders. So if you're wanting to get a little extra whitening, take a toothbrush, put a drop of orange essential oil on it, and brush away. You can do the same thing if you don't have any of that, just by putting Thieves essential oil on a toothbrush, and brush away. Lots of ways to boost and create the things that you need. Sorry, different people adding into the room. I want to make sure I'm catching them all. Same thing with deodorants. You can make your own deodorant. You can get your deodorant from Young Living. You can do deodorants in a lot of different ways. What I learned to do was create my own little spray. You can create your own deodorant, tons of recipes online for that. But I created a little spray to boost in the middle of the day. So I just took a glass spray bottle that I happen to have. You can get these all over the place. I put my essential oils in there. This one has joy, the essential oil of joy in it, because I like the smell. It is very uplifting and I can use lots of that. And it smells a little bit floral, so a little bit perfumey without being perfumey. Stress Away is another good one to use. There's a ton of them. But whatever oil or blend you like to smell like personally, I'll put that in some distilled water. You can also add a little bit of witch hazel or alcohol like vodka or any of the clear alcohols to help it blend through the water that you're using, distilled water. And then shake it up between use and spray. There you go. Now you have an underarm spray. There are a lot of detox spray options with everybody staying at home right now. If you haven't switched over to an all-natural deodorant, this is the time to do it. Most of the time when we switch from a commercial deodorant to a natural deodorant, there's a period of time where our body has to shift and we have to get rid of the toxins that have accumulated. That can get a little bit smelly. And if you're self-conscious, we're all stuck at home right now. The only people around us are our family or whoever we live with. Great time to switch over to a natural deodorant. Give yourself a little bit of a boost with one of those armpit detoxes. So check out online one of those options, but it's a great time to do that. And then it's easier to switch to a natural deodorant. So you can replace the things that you need if you need to get something that you don't have your hands on with a lot of the different essential oil options. Check out recipes online. If you're going to look up a recipe online, I suggest going to the Young Living website to look up recipes. They have a lot of recipes and DIYs there. You can also go to the other websites and type in Young Living essential oil recipe for deodorant, toothpaste, whatever, and see what pops up that way. I suggest putting that in the search, Young Living essential oil, just because you're going to get recipes that are specific to this this quality of essential oils. Other ways to play around and get creative. A lot of us, none of us right now can get to the beauty salon. That doesn't mean you can't do your own little beauty regimen. So I have fingernails now. I'm a massage therapist. I haven't had fingernails since 2012. I don't know what to do with them. So I get to paint them. I'm not just going to put regular old nail polish on my nails though. So what I'll do is I will take my nail polish and I will add lavender essential oil to it, or cedarwood essential oil to it, or myrrh, or one of the essential oils that's healthy for nails and skin. There you go. You've just boosted it, and it smells way better than regular nail polish. Super, super handy. You can do the same thing with mascara. Young Living now has 3 different types of mascara that are all natural, super healthy, non-toxic. If you can't get it, you don't have it, or you're just finishing up your other mascara before you switch over, you can take your mascara and put a drop or 2 of lavender in it. Great for your lashes. You want an extra boost? Try some cedarwood. Great for hair. Anything, again, that's healthy for your hair, that's okay to use around your eyes, you can put in your mascara to get that little extra boost. And if your mascara is starting to dry out, this helps combat that as well. Super, super handy. Play around with that. You can play around a lot with essential oils and makeup and other beauty things. Run out of shaving cream, shaving gel, put a couple drops of lavender on whatever it is you're going, not lavender, lemon on whatever it is that you're going to shave. That will help to soften up the hair. So when you shave, it cuts it easier. And then you can use one of the conditioners from Young Living as your shaving cream. When you're done, put a couple drops of lavender on your legs, your armpits, your whatever it is that you're shaving, your face, whatever you're shaving, and that will help to calm any irritation that might have happened in your skin, help support the health of your skin in case there was any nicks or anything like that. And it also just smells good and feels good. Tons of ways to play around with these things. Right now is a great time to get creative. Right now is a great time to look at, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? And how can I add essential oils to it to have fun? Speaking of fun, let's talk about other things that you can do. So if you have kiddos and you make Play-Doh or have Play-Doh, I'm a huge believer in boosting that up. Throw some lavender in there. Throw some peace and calming in there. Calm them down before they're about to go down for a nap. Throw some rosemary in there. Throw some essential oils, or let the kiddos decide what they want to smell as they're playing with it, right? It becomes like their own personal diffuser as they're playing with it. There are a ton of recipes out there for how to make your own Play-Doh. Do that. Make your own Play-Doh and then add some essential oils to it. Just make sure you're not adding essential oils that have a really hot quality to them when you're playing around with kiddos. Like, I wouldn't use clove, probably not the oil to use. You want to make sure they don't touch their eyes with it. But there's a lot of them that are really safe and make it fun for kids to play. When I was young and we were trapped in the house, my mom had a daycare where she was taking care of tons of kids, and she already had tons of kids, and she was trying to figure out how to entertain us. I remember her clearing off this table that we had, and she put down a plastic tablecloth and created a little like ledge around. And then she took shaving cream or whipped cream and covered the entire table. And then she would take a little bit of food coloring and make little pockets of food coloring. Now, I would suggest adding a couple drops of essential oils to it. And then we would come over and we would get to make this amazing art and funness in all of this mess. It is messy, but it's fun messy. So we would play around with it. We would make some pretty amazing, in our mind, amazing designs and have a lot of fun with it. And then we would go outside and she'd spray us down with the hose. But it's a great way and a great place to add some essential oils, to add some fun, and to make it just in general fun for everyone. So check that out. That might be a fun way to do it. You can do whipping cream or whipped cream, make your own or get some in case you have kids that are prone to eat it. If you don't have kids that are prone to eat it, they're pretty good about it, then you can use shaving cream. If they're prone to eat it and you're using shaving cream, they're going to figure out pretty quick not to put that in their mouth, and they'll just play around with it in the table. And if you have a backyard or something you can do in the backyard, this is a great one to take outside. Get a trash bag that's clean, new. Get a tablecloth that's new or clean, that's not cloth. Take it outside, put it out, create your big pile of fun, and let them have fun with it. Let them go. If you're painting right now, I see a lot of people online getting creative and doing painting. Add essential oils to your paints. If you're going to paint your house, you can add essential oils to the whole bucket of paint and then put that into the walls. It takes the smell of the paint out, but it also raises the vibration and the frequency of whatever it is that you're painting. If you're painting a palette because you have, or if you're using a palette because you have like a small painting that you're doing, like one of the old paint nights that we used to be able to go to, you can add essential oils to that paint too. Give yourself the mood that you want to be in with your essential oils. If you're painting an outdoor scene, maybe you want to grab some pine essential oil or sacred mountain or cedar wood or one of those outdoorsy smelling oils to put in your paint. That could be fun. You're painting a fruit bowl, grab your citrus fruits for Citrus Fresh. Throw that in there, some grapefruit, throw that in there, and let that bring in some of that fun of what's happening and what you're painting and how you're being creative in the world. I also see a lot of people doing puzzles right now. And I personally know that some people get stressed out with puzzles. Well, they can be fun and creative and a good way to use your time. So what I've seen is some people taking their puzzles upside down so it's on the cardboard part. And then they'll take their misting sprays and mist the back sides of it with some essential oils. That way, when they're picking up their puzzles and they're putting it together, they're activating the essential oil on the puzzle piece and putting their puzzles together so they get to smell the essential oils. Keeps you calm, keeps you happy, keeps you going with all of it. If you put it on the back side of the puzzle where it's cardboard and you're not saturating it, then your puzzle's going to be fine afterwards. So you're creating your own individual diffuser area. You're boosting your mood while you're playing with your puzzles, and you're just having fun with it. Citrus oils are really good generally for boosting mood. So orange, tangerine, grapefruit, those types. You can also use one of the other mood boosting ones like Stress Away or Peace and Calming or anything that calms you. For me, rosemary. Rosemary I find to be very calming, and I know that's not the case for everyone. So play around with what is right and feels right for you. There are so many ways to play with essential oils and play with what you're doing around. Additionally, when we're talking about being creative, there's a lot of ways to be creative. I've been using Young Living essential oils since 2013, so 7 years. That means I have 7 years worth of empty bottles because I can't throw them away. They seem useful and valuable to me. So what I will do is take off the label, and then any of that sticky residue stuck on the bottle, I will use some lemon essential oil to take it off. Lemon essential oil is great at taking off sticky residue. So now I have a clean bottle. If you have a few bottles that you want to clean, you can put them in a pot with cold water and then bring it up to just before a boil. That will help to sterilize and pull out any of the essential oils that are left in the bottle. Don't throw that water out though. That water already has all of the lovely essential oils that were left in your bottle and your caps and your lids. So save that to throw into your bath water the next time you take a bath or to water your plants. Use that water that's got all that wonderful essential oil in it, essential oil infused water for your diffuser. Woohoo, you've already got some. You're using your diffusers, use that water for your diffuser. Then you have clean empty bottles that you can use to make your own diffuser blends. So right now, a lot of people are playing with making diffuser blends. So in my diffuser, I put between 5 and 10 drops, depending on the diffuser I'm using and depending on the type of oil I'm putting in there. What I find is that there are some blends that I will randomly throw in one day and discover, ooh, I really like that, but I can't recreate it. So again, write down, just take a note of what you put in. And if you decide you like it, and this is something that could become one of your go-tos, you can take one of your empty bottles that you've prepared and put the same ratio of oils in there. Put a label on it and label it as your diffuser blend, whatever you want to call it. Summer day, winter night, cup of coffee, whatever it is. Label it for yourself and then keep it next to your diffuser. Whenever you want it to have that in your diffuser, it's already pre-mixed for you, easy to go. Put your drops in your diffuser and go. So creating your own diffuser blends can be really easy and a good way of using up some of those old empty bottles. You can do the same thing with your empty bottles for other blends that you might like. So for example, there's a couple of blends that I like to use after I've overworked my muscles. So I did a little bit too much. I went outside and I pulled too many weeds, or I did something, my muscles are like, oh, what are you thinking, right? We've been in quarantine now here for 3 weeks. And I thought it was a good idea to get really active. Maybe I should have gone a little bit slower. So there's blends that I personally like to use in roll-ons. So I can take my empty bottles, pre-mix my blend, and then take one of the roller tops that either come with your kit or you can buy them in a pack of 10 and make my own roll-on. I also can take one of the roll-ons that come from Young Living. So we have Breathe, this is Breathe Again. We also have Thieves Roll-On, there's a Stress Away, a Rutavala, a Tranquil. There are a lot of roll-ons that automatically come blended from Young Living. When this bottle is out, I don't throw it out, right? You can take the top off. It's a little bit tricky, but you can take this roller top off here and then make your own blend. Just make sure you put a label on it so that you know it's your blend and what it is that you put in here. And then now I have a roller bottle that I can use as perfume, I can use as a mood boost, I can use as a brain boost, lots of things. There are tons of places to find blends and blend recipes online. There's even a book out there about, it's a la Harry Potter. It is not a Harry Potter book, but it is created like a Harry Potter book with potions and little things that you say when you're doing it. So tons of places to go find different ideas for blends. Have fun with it, play around with it, see what works for you in a day. Take notes, write it down. And when you find the thing that really works for you, make up a whole bottle of it for yourself. Put a roller top on it if it's one of these and you want to use it as a roll-on, or take one of your old roll-ons and do that. You can also make them up and put them in a spray bottle. If it's glass, use glass, especially if it has citrus in it. That's going to be really helpful. Speaking of sprays, room sprays are all the craze. Poo sprays in the bathroom, linen sprays. You can spray everything these days. I don't buy any of that. Not worth it to me. Too many potential toxins. So I make my own. Again, it's the same recipe, same type of ways to do it as we were talking about the deodorizing spray for yourself. You can take distilled water, your essential oils. You can add a little witch hazel if you choose, or a little bit of the clear alcohol like a vodka or clear rum to help it emulsify and go through the oil. I know some people will take just a pinch of salt instead and put it in there so that the oil has someplace to go. But when I started, I would just take my water and my essential oil and then just shake it up between use, spray the toilet, spray the room, spray whatever it is that I'm spraying, and enjoy it. So make your own room sprays, make your own any kind of sprays. Lots and lots of ways to do that. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, speaking of empty bottles, when I empty a bottle, there's always a little bit of oil left in the bottom of that bottle. I have a hard time letting that go. So another thing you can do is take some Epsom salts or sea salts or any kind of bath salts you might want and fill up that empty bottle. The salts, if you let it stay in there for a little bit, will soak up that essential oil. And then the next time you take a bath or do a foot soak, dump that into the foot soak and you've already got your essential oil infused salts in there. It's a really nice way to use up that last little empty. You can also gift that to somebody. If you have somebody in your life, using the empty bottles is a great way to share essential oils. So I keep specific bottles that are empty available for people to smell. The smell that's left in an empty bottle sticks around for a very long time. And that's how I have my displays and my shares for when I'm sharing in person, which I know we're not doing right now, but thinking ahead. Eventually, we will be able to share in person. So I keep those empty bottles around. That way, I don't have to worry about somebody accidentally walking off with the half full bottle or accidentally spilling it or anything like that. They're going to open the empty bottle and smell. There's enough oil in there and that little tiny last little drop that we can't get out, that smell will be in that bottle for a long time. I'll also, when my bottle gets really low or about to the end, sometimes just share that with somebody. If they have questions, they're not sure about how this works, it's a great and easy way to share. And if I have somebody that I know takes baths or I know does foot soaks and I'm at the end of my bottles, I will fill up with the salts and then put them in a bag, put a little, tie a little thing around it with a bow with a little label to let them know that in these empty bottles, while they are used, they're now filled with Epsom salts or bath salts or whatever, and explain how to use that for them. So I may not be gifting a whole bottle of essential oil, but I'm gifting an essential oil experience. This is a great way to share and help share with other people. You can also use the paper tubes that these shipping tubes that these come in to gift back. Right now, it's hard to get out of the house and get wrapping paper and supplies and to things to gift. So I've been keeping my tubes, and anytime I'm going to gift somebody with one of these, I'll just slide them into the tube, take out my crayons or my markers and draw something on there, roll it up in tissue, tie the two ends, make it look cute, and then I have an automatic, already created, reusable, creative way to share the bottles and the information. So that's another fun way to do it, to share. Make it giftable, be crafty, have fun, reuse. So I want to leave plenty of time for questions, plenty of time for other ideas. I know some of you have been using essential oils for a while. You might have ideas of how to be creative and be crafty and have fun with these, but I want to know, how do you like to use them that I might not have shared? Do you have questions? And how can we help inspire each other to get creative in how we're using essential oils and products from Young Living? If you want to speak up and you don't want to be recorded, turn off your video or mute your video and then unmute yourself and talk, or you can type something into the chat box. If you do just unmute yourself and start talking and your video's on, just know that I'm recording this, so it will record your face. And if you have questions, ask them too.
Okay, Megan.
Yes.
You know me, I'm the talker.
Oh. Okay, I have super bad feedback here.
Yeah, I know. I had to
okay, got it.
I had to delete Johnny because we're both on the same table here. Great job. I love it. Love all of your additional extra fun creative ideas. Just one extra little fun note. Is that Ningxia that you're drinking out of a wine glass?
Yes, it is.
I love it. Also, you can just, when you have an empty bottle, you can just literally just take the orifice top off and just put it right into the bathtub, you know? And obviously, depending on what oil it is, if it's peppermint, you know, maybe be careful about that one. But anyway, just a fun little extra to add. I always have more, but just a fun little one right there. So
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, great job. Thank you, honey. Love you.
You're welcome.
Johnny says great job too, and love you too. And Bruno.
Thank you,
and
Johnny.
Okay.
And Bruno.
I'll mute myself.
Okay.
Okay.
So a couple other that I forgot to mention. If you want to make, I know we're all stuck inside right now. And my inside of my house, it's been raining, so I haven't been able to open the windows so much. So it's getting a little stale in here. I can turn on my diffuser. But if I don't have a diffuser or in a place where I can't put a diffuser, I can drop some essential oils onto a cotton ball and stick them in the vent or in a fan, automatic diffuser. I also love to have felt stickers. So I have felt stickers in my car. And then I just drop my essential oil on the felt of the sticker and voila. I also put felt stickers on, for example, my checkbook. I know not a lot of people use checkbooks these days, but I still do. So I'll put a felt sticker on the back of my checkbook and then put abundance essential oil on it. Yes, I want more abundance. Thank you. I'm going to call that in on my checkbook or in my wallet. In my wallet, I might put a little felt sticker in it and and put whatever it is that I want on there and include that in my purse, in my wallet, whatever. It gives me a place to put the oil so it's not going to stain my purse or stain anything else. And now every time I open my purse, I get a nice waft of whatever it is that I'm looking for. My car, in the bathroom, you can put these little felt stickers anywhere. They're fun, easy one to do. Yeah, get creative with what you're putting and where you're putting it. I can't hear you, Cecilia. Let me see.
Okay.
There, now I can hear you.
Okay. What I do with like the ones that are like Joy or anything that smells really nice, when it's empty, is I just take off the orifice and put it like in my drawer that has my socks or underwear, and I just put them all over in the closet just so that when you open it up, it smells good.
That's perfect. I do the same thing with my garbage bins. So once I've run out of in my bathroom, I think it's all citrus bottles. I'll open the bottle, take off the cap, take off the orifice reducer. I throw all 3 of those things in between the garbage bin and the liner. You want to be careful with using the citrus ones in there because that can degrade the plastic bag, but still it's worth it to me. Now every time I take my garbage bag out, I get a whiff of what I want to smell, not what I don't want to smell. So it's another great place to stash and use essential oils. I have them in all of my drawers, all over the place. Yeah. Any other ways you use them? You had kiddos.
Oh, yeah.
How else did you use them with the kiddos?
Oh, you mentioned all the ways that I did it with the essential oils and the Play-Doh and the paint. When I painted my RV, I have frankincense on my paint on the ceiling and abundance on the walls. So, so you get pretty much all. I use them on everything and everywhere. It's just crazy. Love it.
Very, very cool. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. All right. Does anybody have questions? I don't want to keep you on here if you don't have questions, but I want to make sure I've answered them. And then I'm going to stop recording in a minute and we'll chat more. But I want to say really quick, first, thank you very much for joining. If you are watching the video and you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I love talking about oily oils and all the things Young Living. If somebody else shared this video with you that does use Young Living, reach out to them and ask them questions. I'm sure they have a lot of ideas that I didn't cover. There are so many ways to be creative. I really had to limit myself and not go too crazy because we could be here for days talking about it. So I hope you found this useful. I'd love to hear from you if you did and if you have other ideas. Have a great day, everybody.